Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at CMAX Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals, April 25th through 27th.
You got it. Welcome. Good afternoon, and welcome to On Pit Road Racing. Alan Michaels here in Las Vegas, and we got a lot to talk about today. Larson smacks the wall at Indy. Rodney Childers is out at Spire. The World of Outlaws has got a double shot in Illinois this weekend, and the NHRA's at ZMAX Raceway in Charlotte for 4-wide On Pit Road Racing starts right now.
He's going to do a little arc to try to get under you. 100 feet back, making that dive. Too cool here.
That 38 is no matter what I do, he's today.
Race friends, it's time for the fastest 2 hours in motorsports. It's time for On Pit Road Racing, right here, right now, live from downtown Las Vegas on the flagship station, the WCOBM Television Network. Our race team will have all the latest news, updates, and interviews for the world of motorsports. So buckle up and pull those belts tight. The green flag is in the air, and it's time to go racing. And here are the hosts of On Pit Road Racing, Alan Michaels and the First Lady, Diane Fox.
We are back in the studio 1A, man, the main studio, the flagship studio of WCOBM, downtown Las Vegas, where we do the show each and every Thursday for you. Starts at 3 p.m. here on the West Coast, 6 p.m. back on the East Coast, rolling 90 minutes for you. Yes, indeed. We stream the show live right off the main network, and man, it's hitting about 3 or 4 Facebook channels. We're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X, and our Instagram program will be start running for you next weekend. We've got it all locked in and dialed into the system. We just want to do a couple of quick checks with it, make sure it's what, so you'll also be able to pick us up on the On Pit Road Racing Instagram starting next week. Want to thank our show partners out there, the Gene Woods Racing Experience. They're just right across the hall. It's a 12,000 square foot indoor slide and drift track, everybody. Come test your skills. We're open 7 days a week from noon to midnight. $5 off coupons on the website at gokartslasvegas.com. So grab those and grab some friends and come on down. Woods Family Sandwiches, man, WFSandwiches.com. If you're looking for catering, lunches, anything like that, want some great deli food, man. They do platters, sandwiches, all kinds. They even got cookies there. Give them around at WFSandwiches.com. The Woods Family Sandwich Shop. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. I just found out that Gene and the whole group are out today. They were out at another church or a mission. Took about 50 or 100 pairs of the tennis shoes that you see right here. They are, and I'll talk about those in just a second or so. But they were out doing some great stuff, spreading some love and putting some shoes on people's feet today. So thank to them. You get more information at thehotshoehof.com, everybody. And also Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's our home track, lvms.com, for all your tickets, camping information coming up. Bull Ring Racing there this weekend, the Legend Nationals. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. And also, of course, NASCAR will be coming back to town in the month of October, and NHRA 2 comes back for another round there. So you want all the details about what happened at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, everybody, lvms.com. Want to say hi to Jeremy Porter down at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Jeremy put that post up on April Fool's Day about building a new go-kart track downtown Atlanta. Jeremy, I really thought that was going to be, I thought that was something that was coming through, buddy. But anyhow, good April Fool's joke. But it is the Country Club of Motorsports, man. If you want to get there, they've got condos. You can live there. You can drive your cars on the track. They got go-kart racing, IMSA stuff. They've got it all. AtlantaMotorsportsPark.com. That's where you'll find it. Also, our good friends at Red Wine Scooters. When Diane and I need some help getting around the tracks, we call these guys up because they deliver the scooters free of charge to the house, send you with the battery chargers, everything up, man, and it helps us get around the big pits. And finally, our after-dinner place and after-show place is Hammer and Harry's at 450 Fremont Street. They're located right across the street right here from us at the Gene Woods Racing Experience, the WCOBM, and the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, it's really easy. We've got 2 different categories. Of course, the national guest and our local racing around the country. Reach out to Diane Fox. It's real easy at onpitroadracing@gmail.com, or you can give her a call Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on the West Coast time, folks. 9 to 5 on the West Coast time, 702-803-0875. Just give her a little information about how you could be a guest on the show. All right. Looking good out there for you. Real quickly, want to give a shout to our main group here at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. We try to raise a lot of money and a lot of help and a lot of awareness. These are the heart shoes right here. They're for needy men and women and children. They build positive, good health and positive development. They're called heart shoes. Their shoes are given from the heart. And we've got a couple of partnerships that are still left, a couple of $500 and $1,000 partnerships. All of your money goes straight to buying shoes. And I know that Gene and I were talking the other day ago. We got plenty of adult shoes, and it's time to reach out and get some kids' shoes together. So your money would help us do that. 100% goes to get the hot shoes right here. No money taken off for salaries or anything like that. And if you decide to do that, we'll give you spots on our show right here. 30-second spots, 100 of them and 200 of them. It's all tax deductible. We've got all the information. And if you need some more information, contact us at 702-803-0875 or at onpitroadracing@gmail.com. We're back in action for you. Legend Nationals are at the Bull Ring this weekend. We won't be there, but we'll be back July 3rd for the Night of Fire at the Bull Ring. Big fireworks show out there, and it sort of caps off the spring and summer season here of racing. Of course, once we get into the middle of July and August and 1st of September, everybody, it is just too hot, too dangerous to put guys and gals and kids in race cars out there, so we'll take a break. We'll be back September 20th. As they get ready to roll Saturday night back to the Bull Ring, and then we'll cover the October 18th date. That's going to be championship night. You can get tickets and more information at lvms.com. NASCAR's back in town October 11th, NASCAR weekend, the Xfinity on the 11th and the 12th, the South Point 400. And then after that, the NHRA makes its final appearance October 30th through November 2nd. And On Pit Road Racing will be there to cover all of that for you, okay? We'll take a quick pause here, do a little spot for our good friends over in Charlotte. We come back, we'll get racing weather, and we'll take you around the track. On Pit Road Racing for this Thursday edition continues right after this, everybody.
Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at C-Max Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals, April 25th through 27th.
Kick it off this weekend over there. That's where the original 4-Wide started in Charlotte. In fact, Diane and I were living in North Carolina, and the year that they opened that up was the year that we moved out here. So we had to just catch a couple of rounds of the singles. Before they went to the double wide or the 4-wide racing out here. So they eventually got it out here. It's a sister track out here in Las Vegas. Just had a great event out there, and they'll be back, like I said, Halloween weekend here for you. Checking out race and weather and what's going around the tracks. It's brought to you by our good friends at Woods Family Sandwiches, everybody. 931 American Pacific. They're in Suite 106, right on the Las Vegas-Henderson line right there. You need some more information and details about catering and how you can get pickups and all that kind of stuff. Get on the World Wide Web at wfsandwiches.com. NASCAR, the Cup, and the Xfinity Series are off to Talladega this weekend. It's high banks. It's plenty of speed. And, of course, we know the big one will come at least once, if not twice. But the weather is Saturday for the racing down there. 45% chance of a late afternoon shower during the Xfinity. But the rest of the time, mostly sunny skies with daytime highs right around 82, nighttime low at 58. And for Sunday, you're looking at mostly sunny skies. A slight chance of an afternoon shower, and race temperature when they throw the green flag should be right around 84 degrees. NHRA 4-Wide is back in the Queen City of Charlotte this weekend in North Carolina at Z-Max Raceway. Cloudy skies on Friday and Saturday. Friday, a 40% chance of rain with a high right around 77, nighttime low about 60. Saturday, 20% chance of rain with highs around 75, nighttime low about 54 if you're you campers out there. And Sunday for the finals, your sun returns, and you're going to have a great day out there with around about 75 degrees as they head into the final round of 4-Wide at C-Max Raceway. World of Outlaws has got a double shot in Illinois. They'll be in Jacksonville on Friday night, where there's a 50% chance of rain. Daytime highs right around 70, dropping off 54 at nighttime. Then Saturday, they move over to Hubbardston, Indiana, where it's 20% chance of a rain. Daytime high about 70, nighttime low about 56. The World of Outlaws are going to be at Talladega this weekend on the short track. They're looking at 45% chance of a late afternoon shower over there. Mostly sunny skies through the rest of the day, and a high about 82, nighttime low about 58. F1 and Indy cars are all off this weekend. They return back to action coming up in the next couple of weeks. We'll take you around the track right after this on Pit Road Racing Live from Las Vegas. Continues on.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at C-Max Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals, April 25th through 27th.
Get your tickets. Get out there, NHRA.com. If you're over in the Charlotte area, man, at the Queen City, you definitely want to check them out. 4 wide, 11, 12, 13,000 horsepower. Screaming down the track, everybody. I'm telling you, just had it here. Had a ball. Diane and I got down to the final day, and man, you know, we did some reporting and some things, and Diane and I just took off, and we found us a spot down towards the end of the strip, and we would sit there and just watch them run and be fans. I'm telling you, it was something else. Coming up a little later in this program, I've got Junior Dragsters, a father-daughter racing team. Alan and Tiffany Taylor will be joining us here live, and they're going to talk about dirt racing and sand racing and junior drag racing and all kinds of stuff as we go racing around the country for you. Looking around the track and what's happening this weekend, Monster Energy Supercross Series. You're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, April 26th at the stadium there. At Art Rooney Avenue, so you can get your tickets there and get ready to rock and roll with the Supercross Series. The Progressive Flat Track Series, Saturday, April 26th, Ventura Short Track in Ventura, California. So definitely get down there and watch the World Flat Track racing, those big power bikes, 750s and up, so definitely do that. Speedway racing, East Coast, you got Champion Speedway coming up. The Spring Classic is May 3rd. Action Park Raceway, the Outlaw Nationals now round number 1 coming up for you May 24th. On the West Coast, Fast Fridays in Auburn starts off May 19th. Formula One, you're back in action May 4th at Grand Prix in Miami. That's right, they come back here to the United States. IndyCar, same weekend, May 4th, the Children's of Alabama Grand Prix. The NHRA, of course, this weekend, the 25th, 26th, and 27th at Charlotte at Z-Max Raceway. Once again, NOS Energy at Jacksonville Speedway, also at Tri-State Speedway. The World of Outlaws is going to be at the Daytona, the late model series is going to be at the Daytona Short Track. And, of course, NASCAR back in action. ARCA East Series is back May 3rd. The whole series will be in Talladega this weekend, too, so the East and the West guys will team up. Trucks, next action for this is going to be the Speedy Cash .com 250 Texas Motor Speedway coming up Friday, May 2nd, 8 p.m. is television time for you. Xfinity, the Agro Pro 300 this weekend at Talladega. Green Flag Falls at 4 p.m. on the East Coast. And the Jack Slings 500, the Talladega Super Speedway for the Cup Racers, Sunday, April 27th, with the Green Flag starting at 3 p.m. And that's a look at around the track. When we come back, we'll check on some news and notes for you on Pit Road Racing Live from Las Vegas. Continues on right after this, everybody. Motorsports Park. Want to let you know Scratch is okay. Just needed a day, man. I don't know if he busted himself up driving that junk car or not. He called me this morning, said, Alan, I'm just feeling a little bit down today. I said, Scratch, take it easy. Don't worry. Diane's back in the studio. She's main office is there. She's taking care of business out there for you. Hey, let's talk a little racing. ARCA, man, of course, they got back into Rockingham this weekend. Great. Fantastic. I don't know if you guys caught any of the TV. You had to have Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2. Boy, we'll get into that. Boy, did they just give a beating to Jamie Little and Michael Waltrip. God, I mean, you guys out there just beat on my guess the energy. I didn't catch it. I caught some of the Xfinity race. But I guess enthusiasm, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Anyhow, never question who had the fastest car last Saturday afternoon at the ARCA Menards Series East returned to the Rockingham Speedway. In honor of the beloved Joe Gibbs Racing, Brent Cruz, who started from the General Tower pole, dominated the Rockingham ARCA 125. He scored his first East win, 4th overall in the ARCA platform. The win, Cruz makes him 2 for 2 in the ARCA platform starts this season. He won the ARCA Menards Series and the ARCA Menards Series West combination held at March 7th in Phoenix. Salwich, who was his competitor there, said it was great to see that the Joe Gibbs finished 1-2 there. Gibbs boys have got it rolling. They definitely do. Mexico's Elroy Falcon making his ARCA platform debut via a partnership between Rev Racing and Fast Track Racing, finished 3rd. Patrick Stropoli and Andy Jalowiski completed the top 5. Isaac Kitzmiller, Cole Raz, Lenny Rice, LeVar Scott, and Spencer Gallagher wrap up your top 10. ARCA Menards Series takes a couple of weeks off. Well, they're actually all going to be in Talladega, but the series itself takes a week off. They return back to action May 3rd. Music City 150 Nashville Speedway. Flow Racing will have the complete coverage for you starting at 8:30 p.m. So you can check it out. Like I said, the next big platform from all will be the 26th Talladega. Fans can go on to ARCA Menards General Tower 200 live. Fox Sports 1, 12:30. So if you got Fox Sports 1, you can catch the ARCA series, all right? Catch a little action from the NASCAR up. Brought to you by our good friends at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, everybody. LVMS.com. NASCAR returns to the round of 8, the South Point 400, October 10th, 11th, and 12th. Tickets are on sale right now for you. Camping, everything that you want, suites, they've got it, LVMS.com. Tyler Aiken straights his fuel and won the Black Ties 200 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Race at Rockingham Speedway. This race was the first for the Truck Series at the Rockingham since back in 2013. It marked Aiken's first win of 100. I think he was on a drought. 125, 130 races. Last time he visited was back in 2019 at Kentucky Speedway. Pole sitter Jake Garcia led 43 and finished 2nd. Daniel Hemrick, Rajah Caruth, Grant Enfinger, Caden Honeycutt, Jack Wood, Corey Heim, Connor Muzak, Gio Rigelli. Round out the top 10. Average speed of the race was 102.94 miles an hour. Here's a points lead after Rockingham. Corey Helm on top, 2 wins. Chandler Smith with a win. Tyler's in 3rd spot, got a win on top of the board. Then it comes down to Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Jake Marcia, Grant Enfinger, Caden Honeycutt, and Stuart Friesen. Outside the top 10 right now, Jerry Ben Rhodes, Tanner Gray, and Rajah Caruth. All right. I think we got guests stepping in the studio. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back, cover the Xfinity, and we'll get you guys ready to roll on Pit Road Racing live. Downtown Las Vegas, everybody, right after this.
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at C-Max Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. Pass, the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals, April 25th through 27th.
Get your tickets. Get out there and get it now. You ain't seen 4-Wide racing, folks. I'm telling you, it's something else. I mean, I know the old traditional guys don't like it, but it is something. When you see 4 cars, especially when they get into Top Fuel dragsters and Top Fuel funny cars, when you see 4 of these things at about 13,000 horsepower leave the line, I mean, it will literally shake you. And I mean, and like the commercial says, man, a general ticket is a pit pass. I highly encourage you guys to go down there and take a good whiff of nitro. Because if you have never done it, it's an experience. You're going to choke. Your eyes are going to water like you wouldn't believe, but you will never forget it. Trust me. All righty. Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, our special guests have joined us in the stadium. We've got Alan and I got Alan and Taylor, right? All right. Father-daughter drag racing team. Sand racing team. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're gonna talk racing with those guys. See what's going on with them. We met them out at the strip a couple of weeks ago. I like it for the simple reason Alan's a hardworking guy. Busts his butt every day at his job. He's in the garage with his daughter every night. They're turning wrenches, trying to scrap $1 or $2 to keep the race car on the track. That's what racing's all about, folks. I'm telling you that right now. Get out and support local racing. I don't care if it's drag racing. I don't care if it's stock car racing. I don't care if it's open wheel stuff, dirt racing. Don't make no difference. Find a local track, load the family up, grab yourself some hot dogs, some sodas, a couple of cold beers, whatever you'd like to take with you, and have some fun. You can't beat it. Because when you see the people in the NHRA, the people in IndyCar, the World of Outlaws, NASCAR, anything, they started here. They started at a local level. It doesn't make a difference where they're from. They started at a local level. I love it. We'll get with you guys in just a couple of minutes. Hang tight for me. What do you think about this Xfinity race? Jesse Love gets disqualified. Dominant car. Just dominant. I mean, even if he had a bad pit stop, lost a spot or two, that. Unbelievable. So anyhow, they take the win away from you. Violated rule number 14.14.2.1./5H. I'd like to find out who writes these things. Basically, what it covers is the trailing arm and the spacers and the pin angle shims. And everything has to be connected. Can't be any gaps. Can't be any splices. Can't be nothing. It's got to be all together. So they took him out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Got really quality. Anyhow, Chandler Smith picked up his first victory, plus $100,000. Xfinity Dash, final race of that season. Love was just heartbroken. He got out of the car. He thought he had just smoked them all. Anyhow, that's the way she rolls sometimes. Sunoco Rookie of the Year, Taylor Gray, completed the top 5. They also had Harrison Burton was in there. Parker Ratzliff was in. Brendan Poole. Ryan Sieg had a damn good car, too. Battling for the lead on the final stage. Got collected. Nick Sanchez in there. The big thing about it all, sell out at Rockingham. I told you all this was going to happen. I told you. Enough with Chicago, enough with Circuits of America, enough with going to Mexico, enough of this. I told you that this thing would sell. The truck race damn near sold out. Almost sold out to capacity. I think it was the best crowd the trucks have had all year. In a couple of years, to be honest with you, except for the finales. I mean, and then the Xfinity sold out. Great race. So you're getting back to the roots. I like it. We'll talk about that coming up in the second half of the show. Current point standings right now, Austin Hill with 2 wins. He's got 14 points up. Justin Allgaier right back in second. He leads the regular series championship right now. Connor Zelich up in third. Sammy Smith, Jesse Love. They've all got wins. Brandon Jones has got a win. Sam Mayer, that number 41 machine, stands in seventh. Carson Quabble, Ryan Sieg, Sheldon Krieg, Jeb Burton, Harrison Burton. That's two cousins racing each other. 11th to 12th. Outside the line, Daniel Dye, Taylor Gray, Dean Thompson, and Christian Eckes. Can't believe that Eckes is having just not a good season. Not a good season at all. In Cup Series off this week. See, well, it was the only weekend they had. They actually got back to Bill France racing. You remember in the old days, no racing on Easter Sunday and no racing on Mother's Day. So at least we're back there. Current point standings for the Cup guys. Heading into Talladega this weekend, Christopher Bell with 3 wins, 16 playoff points. Denny Hamlin up in second, 2 wins, 12 playoff points. Kyle Larson, 2 wins, 14 playoff points. William Byron with a win, regular season point leader at the time with 8 playoffs. Josh Berry, what a great! I'm betting on Josh. I'm rooting for Josh Berry. Not only Josh, I said this, and Scratch and I talked about this. When he joined Stewart Haas, I thought this kid, I really liked him. Whether they just got him under good equipment or not, I don't know. But he goes to the Wood Brothers and picks up a win, and he's in the shot for the. Wouldn't this be something? What the Wood Brothers, I think, 75 years of racing, and for them to get a shot for the title and to win it, this would be great. This would be great for NASCAR. Be great for that team. Chase Elliott currently sitting in 6th. Ryan Blaney in 8th. Ryan Blaney in 7th. Then Tyler Reddick. Then Bubba. Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, Chastain, Briscoe, Ryan Preece, and Kyle Busch. Wrapping up the top 16. Outside right now, A.J. Allmendinger, Ricky Stenhouse, Michael McDowell, and Ty Gibbs. That's what you got looking at. I'm telling you, I knew that was going to be a big deal at Rockingham. And you wait for the All-Star event. It did so well last year. You wait, they got more seats. It's going to be packed to the walls. Hello, open your eyes, folks. Steve Phelps, open your eyes. Get this thing back to where it needs to be and get yourself a damn good TV deal. Because the TV deal is terrible. I think after this weekend, they go to TNT for 4 or 5 races. Then Amazon's going to pick it up for 5 or 6 races. That's where NBC is going to find out that they made a real big mistake. I'm telling you, by not taking Dale Jr. They should have offered Jr. anything he wanted. I don't care what kind of money it is. Because you're going to watch when Amazon takes those 6 races, for the people that have got the coverage, you're going to watch their ratings go. Then we're back to NBC and Peacock. Get a good TV deal. They started doing stuff with the CW. If I was Phelps right now, I would work a deal out with the CW right now and put all 3 series on. All 3. The trucks, the Xfinity, and the Cup. Free TV for everybody. You don't need satellite. You don't need cable. For God's sake, you could even do it the old way and hook a coat hanger on the back of the TV and pick up the CW. And the reason why this would be such a great deal, it'd be a great deal for the sponsors, for advertisers. Because you're asking all of us to pick up 4 or 5 streaming stations to cover 36 races. Fox hasn't even covered, 4 races all year on the major network. They're wrapping up with 1 this week, and everything has been on FS1. I just think working out a deal with them would be a really good thing for the series. All 3 of them. Good television. Everybody could see it. The sponsors would be happy because you're not being selected. Well, if you don't have Fox Sports 1, you're not going to get to see the commercials. If you don't have Amazon, if you don't have this, if you don't have that, put it on something that everybody can see it. That's my, I know I've been ranting and raving about it. I can't help it. When I saw the ratings of what CW was doing for the Xfinity series, I mean, when you start taking 1.5 to 2 points across the board, folks, I know a lot of people don't understand what the numbers mean, but when you start taking that many points, you need to start looking at things. We'll take a quick break. I want to cover a little bit of the NHRA news, which is sort of going to lead us right into this. Our special guests are standing by. We'll talk some junior drag racing, some sand racing, and doing all of it right here coming up on Pit Road Racing live from Las Vegas right after this, everybody.
Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at C-Max Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals, April 25th through 27th.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Definitely going to get down here and try it. Let's take you guys on the track after we're done here. You guys are used to going fast this way. Let's see if you can control the slides and everything, all right? Alan and Tiffany Taylor are joining us. They're going to be joining the program here in just a couple minutes. We're going to talk junior drag racing with them, sand racing. I don't know what the hell sand racing is, but I guess they're going to educate you really quick about it. I guess you take a car out and you race it in the sand if I was to be smart about the whole thing. Trust me, my wife tells me that all the time. Be smart about everything, Alan. Real quickly, and we'll get with Alan and Tiffany right after this segment. Let's talk some NHRA news and updates. The segment brought to you by our good friends at Hammer and Harry's. They're located right across the street from us. They're open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Great food, good times, and home of the $5 margarita. They make a darn good margarita there. So stop by and see them, okay? NHRA had the weekend off. Round number 1 of 4 wide racings in the books. Now they're off to Charlotte, Queen City, the ZMAX Raceway. Here's the point standings coming out of Las Vegas. Sean Langdon up on top of Top Fuel Dragsters. The smoke is just 16 points back, folks. 16 points. Somebody asked me the other day, do you think he'll get the car back to Leah? Now he's going to build another car. Yeah. I know he's having fun with it, and I know that he says he wants to go back to his alcohol dragster, but I think he's having too much fun. Way too much fun. Paul Lee stands in the funny car, 16 points up on Fast Jack Beckman. Greg Anderson, him and Sean Glenn are just controlling in Pro Stock this year. I'll ask you guys, what the hell has happened to Elite Motorsports? Jed Coughlin, and Erica, 6-time champion, the queen of the strip. Nobody could touch her out there. Yeah. And when it comes down to Pro Stock motorcycle, I guess the Smith family's sort of happy they had a couple of weeks off because, once again, this is starting to sound like the Max V and Formula One and Pro Stock motorcycles with Gage Herrera just tearing everybody up. Yeah. I don't know. Hey, you know what? You know that the NHRA's got betting out for this thing? Yeah. You ready for this? Top Fuel champ. Antron Brown is the favorite at a plus 370. Now, here you go. Now, I don't know a lot about betting, okay? But meaning if you wager $10, you're going to get $47 if he wins it. Brittany Force is ranked near the top. She's a plus 500. Sean Langdon close behind at plus 550, along with Justin Ashley. The rest of the Top Fuel, including Doug Coletta at a plus 600, Tony Stewart, the most recent winner, he's on an 800. Clay Milligan at plus 8, Sean Reed, Josh Hart, Jasmine Salinas, all at 1,000. Have you heard about this? This girl's now doesn't have. She's standing 5th in points. Somebody, I'll get this just a second. This is unbelievable. Anyhow, if you want to bet on the pro, or let's see, if you want to bet on the funny cars, Jack Beckman's your favorite. Then Paul Lee. Then take it down to Matt Hagan, Bob Tasker III. I still can't. I love watching Bob Tasker call Fox out. IndyCar is the fastest cars. IndyCar is this and that. IndyCar is the fastest car consistently. But IndyCar does not start at the starting line and go 1,000 feet down the track at 300 miles an hour. They don't. And I mean, it takes a lap or two for the Indy cars to get warmed up to 225. Right now, Anderson and Dallas Glenn dominating Pro Stock. Current odds for Erica Enders and Aaron Stansfield, 600 and 700. Jag Kaufman Jr. and Derek Kramer at a plus 2,000. they're not even giving it. I mean, the closest thing in motorcycles, Matt Smith. He's the closest thing. I can't believe this girl you can't get somebody to help her out. Jasmine Salinas, right? Sitting top 5 in points, and she needs some money to get her through the next couple of races. You don't listen. Whoever's handling that out there for them, get on the blower. Because you got somebody, a lady that's fifth in the point standings. Top 10 make it into the final rounds, right? 5th. And she needs some money to help her out. This is a sponsor's dream right here, folks. I don't know, Alan, what's it cost per race to run a top fuel car? About that? $500,000 weekend. For a big company, that's nothing. That's pennies in the bucket. She's 5th in points, which means the TV and radio is going to be swarming her. Jory Elliott's going to debut the 2018 Cobra Jet Mustang for the upcoming American Rebel Light 4 Wide Nationals EMAX Raceway. Cobra Jet was built by Watson Engineering in Detroit, was later assembled, including the engine, by True Street Motorsports in McKinney, Texas. This car will compete in a factory super stock B class. God, I didn't even know they even still put Cobra Jets together. God, why am I out of it? NELC Max Raceway this weekend. Get out there and get your tickets. It's going to be crazy. We're going to talk some drag racing with Alan and Tiffany. They're going to join us next. They're locals racing around the country. Hard-working people just trying to keep that car on the track. We'll talk some NHRA with them. We'll get their feelings on things. On Pit Road Racing continues live from Las Vegas, everybody, right after this quick break.
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone.
Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at CMAX Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals, April 25th through 27th.
Yeah, we're back there. He's got his Alan, got your headsets on. There you go.
I believe so.
Let me check, make sure you're there. There you go. Talk a little bit.
You hear me a little bit?
Yeah, I hear you a little bit. Alan Taylor joining us, man. We met you out of Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I was out there trying to race in Super Street.
Super Street.
Lost second round.
How'd you get started in racing?
When I was a kid, my dad raced sand drags. I can't even remember how old I was when I first seen him racing in a Jeep.
Right.
And then around 1985, he built a T-bucket, and we were riding three-wheelers in, so we started racing the three-wheelers.
Right.
And then a couple years later, he built this little junior dragster for me and my brother with a 450 Honda street bike motor in it. It was a lot of fun, but it was a little, probably shouldn't have been driving it,
Yeah.
but it was a blast. I mean, we never got hurt or anything, but
Was the thing legal? I mean, was it legal?
I mean, it kind of had seat belts that maybe would have done something, but it was go-kart steering, a little sketchy, you know,
Yeah.
just knobbies. Luckily, it wasn't real fast.
Right.
It was a lot of fun.
Just something you had fun with.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Rat racing around the neighborhood.
yeah. Well, not too much. We were pretty good about the neighborhood, not making anybody mad around there. But sand drags, like you could pretty much do whatever you want. We'd go race all day and then go ride our three-wheelers after we were done all night.
See, when Gene Woods was racing when he lived in California, they built their homemade go-karts, right?
Yeah.
And they lived in a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
In fact, he used to live right next door to Steve McQueen. Those guys would all come out in the evening time and start racing their homemade go-karts around the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And then the cops would call. Of course, they'd all scatter. They'd have lookouts waiting for them, right?
Yeah.
So they all scattered. And Gene was telling me stories that one night the cop said he knew they were doing it.
Yeah.
Said, pop the garage door. They walked over, put the hand up towards the motors. Yeah, you boys are out on the street.
Uh-huh.
Don't let us sketch you again.
No, they get smart.
Yeah, but Gene said, yeah, he said the things that they built back then were like death traps. He said they couldn't believe it.
No, I mean, you did what you had to do back then, the way it sounds. I mean, my dad's told me stories about when he was a kid racing around here in Vegas on a little go-kart.
Yeah, they were nuts back then.
Yeah.
But you know what? They weren't stealing anything. They weren't breaking into houses. They weren't doing anything. Those kids nowadays going nuts.
Oh, yeah. You know, they just rather get in trouble than do stuff that we like to do.
You brought the family on board, your daughters. We'll talk to your daughter in just a couple of minutes. You brought your daughter. How did now? Well, I'll wait for that because I want to find out how she got started in this. Okay.
Okay.
So now where are you at now? Have you ever had the desire? We all know it takes money. We all know that racing takes money, but you have had the desire to move into like a pro stock division or possibly a nitro car?
Oh, I'd love to run a pro stock car. It'd be a blast, I think, just because you actually have a clutch and get to shift.
Right.
Or an alcohol funny car.
Right.
I like short cars with the motor in front of me. The one motor behind me seems boring.
Right.
Doesn't do much. But a short car with the motor in front of you, like I've drove Altereds pretty much in sand and on the asphalt, and it's way more fun than the dragster we have now. The dragster is like driving a Cadillac. You just sit there, it goes straight, doesn't do nothing, just goes down the track.
Is he telling you the truth, or is that a whole different experience? All right. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Now listen, what's drag racing in the sand?
So basically, just like the asphalt, you just put some paddles on the back, and there's a lot less rules.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much run whatever you want. A lot of Jeeps, sand rails, four-wheelers, probably side-by-sides now. I haven't been around for a long time. I think side-by-sides are getting
big now, like the Polarises and those type of things, right?
There's still some alcohol cars that run down there, and a lot of guys running blower motors and stuff.
On the sand?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I mean, you think about all that dirt blind and that stuff flying up and getting sucked in. Wow. And so do they line it is it like NHRA? Okay, so you got, I'll take the 4 line out. So we have 2 lanes, right?
Yep.
And you line them up.
Yep.
Is there a tree?
There's a tree. You got 300 foot. That's how long your track is.
Okay.
So, and you can have bracket racing. You can have, heads up racing for the alcohol guys. They have a 295 class where your index is 295. This
is something. What, did they run them around here?
They used to. Like when I was a kid, there was a track out here in El Dorado Valley that we used to race at.
Right.
And another one in Armagrosa Valley we used to race at. 2000, I don't know, probably anywhere from 2004 to 2000, maybe 10, they used to have a track at Prim. We used to go run twice a year, I think. It was on the back side of the mall out there.
So where's the closest place they can run them now?
They have a track in Lake Elsinore and in Dome Valley. What was the one up north? There used to be one in Victorville. I never went to it. My dad went to it a couple times. I can't. Avenal.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they still got a track up in Avenal.
I gotta get. I mean, is there money into this racing, or is it just more of a fun type of thing?
I think it's more a fun type of thing. I never won a lot. Like I think most I won was $600 or something.
All right.
So, but I mean, we always had a blast.
How much to put a car together or a Jeep together?
Just depends on what you want to spend. I mean,
So in other words, yeah, it's open book.
yeah, I mean, there's guys. Larry Miner's son, Chris Miner's, got a blown Jeep, which was originally Larry Miner's Jeep,
Right.
with a blown alcohol motor in it, and a blown alcohol dragster that they run. Bobby Cottrell drives the Jeep, and Chris drives the dragster. So I mean, those guys don't have a limit, I think, on money.
So you're looking at $100,000, $200,000 easy?
Easy, yeah,
Easy?
yeah.
That's something else.
Just like I said, it depends on what you want to run. I mean, you can take your four-wheeler out there and go racing for whatever your four-wheeler costs and a tank of gas,
How was the weekend in Vegas for you guys?
The 4-wide wasn't so good. I turned it red second round.
Right.
Last weekend we had a doubleheader. Thursday I ended up losing 5th round to probably the closest race I've ever seen. We were both 13 green, and we both went 11:05 with a 0. I lost by 3/10,000.
3/10,000ths of a second?
3/10,000.
3/10,000ths of a second.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quicker than blinking your eye.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell when we went through. I just thought I'd screwed it up. Didn't see my win line. Go around to the ticket booth, and the lady's like got this confused look on her face, and she hands me the ticket. I'm like, oh wow. I guess I didn't screw it up. I just wasn't on the lucky side.
So I mean, how to determine if you guys were that close? I mean, his nose of the car was just to the camera shot of it.
Well, it'd been probably our tires, because both of our cars are, the front end's a little higher, so we pick up the beam with the tires. So he was basically 3/10thou ahead of me with his tire than my tire. And the clocks that Vegas has, they can go, I think they said all the way to the 8th digit if they need
Right.
to. So going to the 4th digit, that's still pretty dang tight.
Alan Taylor joining us. His daughter will be sliding into the chair next. So what do you think so far about the NHR season?
It's been interesting, I mean, like you said, Elite been struggling. That's crazy. I mean,
all their cars.
yeah, not just one or two. Like Erica Enders didn't even qualify for Vegas.
She hasn't. I don't think she's actually made it past the first round yet.
No, I don't think she has. And I mean, they got nothing but talent over there. Jake Coughlin, Aaron Stanfield, Greg Stanfield. I mean, all those guys can drive.
Yeah.
So
they got plenty of money behind them.
Oh yeah. So it's just amazing to me to see that. And then, like, Nitro Funny Cars kind of blown me away because Austin Prock's been struggling so much.
Right.
And he absolutely dominated last year.
Right.
They started come back in Vegas finally, so we'll see how Charlotte goes for him.
Think John Force will ever get back in a car?
I don't think so. I would hope he could, but I feel like that might have been too much for him on the last crash.
Right.
I hate to see it because, I mean, he'll always be the GOAT. There ain't nobody better than John Force.
16-time world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's even come close and don't think anybody will. I mean, well,
no.
Nobody says, I mean, you say, and of course, not to take NHR or drag race or any part of that with the World Wrestling Entertainment, but if anybody watched the WrestleMania thing, I mean, that was all because they wanted Cena to have the 17 and Flair hold on to 16 world titles for as long as he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned it off after then. I'd had enough of it. I said, that's enough. I knew what you guys were doing. So yeah, that team is just something else. I think John Force, I don't think John needs to come back.
No, but I think he still wants to.
I think he still wants to, but I think if nothing else, being at the track every weekend with his teams and everything else will still mean so much to the NHR community. Even if John's, because we always see him, he's putting around his little bike, his little scooter bike that he's got, going from the pits to the starting line, pits to the starting line, pits to the starting line to watch his teams, his daughter, and the rest of his teams run. And I think that's a role for John Force. I mean, he does. For God's sakes, by now he's got plenty of money. He doesn't, he can retire, not have to worry about anything. He could focus on, working the sponsors and everything else. I don't see John Force stepping away, just saying, I'm done, I'm out, I'm never coming back to the racetrack again.
I don't think he could do that.
No.
I don't think he could. I think you might as well just put him in a coffin if he tried that. Like, that's his home for the last, I don't know how long, since the 80s, 70s.
And I mean, do you think about all the car manufacturers? He's drove just about everything for every make that there is. He's went from Ford to Chevy.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did you drive a Toyota?
I don't think he had a Toyota, but I remember Oldsmobile
Yeah.
back in the day, probably Pontiac.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's just stuff from what I remember from me being a kid. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's had probably Dodges. I don't know.
Yeah, probably a little bit of everything.
Uh,
You know, I think big news too. The Toyota's leaving next year.
yeah, I can't. That's probably going to hurt a lot of teams. You know, that was
Clay Milligan right off the top.
yeah.
I mean, straight off the top, he's losing. And, the win for Tony Stewart did really well for him because that's sinking Dodge. That's sinking Dodge even deeper into it now.
Yeah.
Tony came in and did what he did. And, of course, it's been announced next year that Dodge will go back to NASCAR to the Truck Series.
That'll help Dodge. I mean,
Well, yeah. We don't even want to get into Allen's racing rules here because then we'll be on a subject and we'll all be raising hell. I say let them all in.
well, that's what I think.
Let them all in. If it's a Honda, let it in.
If
Because let's face it, when stock car comes, Alan, you know this, you've been around this. When it comes to stock car racing, the only thing it's really different is the front clip and the back clip. Everything else is the same
Yeah.
except the motor.
The chassis is all the same.
Everything's the same. It's all the same.
No.
So you're not going to tell me that a Honda couldn't come up with a front clip and a back clip to match what NASCAR specs
I'm
are.
sure they could.
NASCAR's worried about that Dodge and that RT because they won't let the Hemi back in, but they're worried
Well,
about that car.
I don't know. My opinion is the more manufacturers you got, the more money you get for your sport.
So if Toyota does eventually, they said this is it. So teams are going to be scrambling. There's going to be about 6 or 7 really good teams that are going to be scrambling for a motor project next year.
Yeah. That's going to be a little interesting. I mean, you got Coletta sponsored by Toyota, Antron Brown,
Yep.
Steve Torrance, Justin Ashley. Those are just all fuel teams.
Yeah.
So how much were they supporting those guys? I mean, then you have the funny car guys. You got Ron Capps and Worsham and Coletta's funny car.
Yeah.
You know, those are the bodies. So
Well, I guess apparently Toyota just didn't figure out. Toyota just didn't figure out that the NHRA was enough for them. You remember back in the course of stock car days, if you go back to the old days, winner on Sunday sells cars on Monday.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's sort of tough for the NHRA to do, considering what the performance level is, that you're not going to go out and buy a copy of Ron Capps' car and it's going to perform like Ron Capps' car does on the track.
that's the thing. Like, all the stock classes and stuff. Well, there's not a Toyota Supra racing those. You
Right.
still have like a Chevy Camaro and the Ford Mustangs. Yeah, you can go buy those cars, but there's not a Toyota Supra racing in stock or super stock. You're not going to go buy that car on Monday. So I feel like maybe that's why Toyota's doesn't have that attitude of win on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. What's next for you?
We'll probably go up to Fallon. They have a national open up there. Taylor will probably drive her car. I'll probably give it back for a weekend and run that race. And then we're pretty much probably off till September. Be Bakersfield, another divisional out there, and then one more divisional here.
Right.
And then that'll be the year for us.
You think Tony Stewart will turn his car back over to his wife?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't. Doing too good now.
So the only other thing, now I was at the press conference. This is really good. Have you met this little Maddie Gordon girl?
Uh-huh.
You met her? You used to race with Maddie?
Yeah. They race juniors all, I don't know how many years now.
I was at the press conference when Ron Capps made the official announcement that she was going to go to a top fuel car next year.
Yeah.
To dragster. And the first question out of it is they asked Ron, he said, well, why didn't you put her in a funny car? And Ron looked straight at everybody, straight at all the meeting. He goes, because I don't want to race my own car.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't want to get beat by her. I said, he goes, and Flack came down. He said, I just don't want to get beat by her. So we're going to put her in a dragster.
Yeah. She can drive. I mean, every one of those Gordons can drive. They can work on it. They can do it all.
That you work on yours. I'm going to ask you that question. It's coming up. Anyhow, Tony Stewart will build his wife. Now this might be a thing. I know he wants to get back into his alcohol dragster because he had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
He's not doing as well as he is. I agree with you 100%. He's going to stay in that car. So one of two choices. He either builds Leah a car or one of them moves over to the other division.
That's the thing. How do you get rid of Matt Hagan?
Well, you don't.
Exactly. So
You can't get rid of Matt. So Tony lines 2 dragsters up and Matt Hagan.
either 2 dragsters or 2 funny cars.
Either which way, he's going to race himself.
Exactly.
He's going to race himself. You guys got to come. We'll take a quick break. We'll bring your daughter in next. Good to see you, man.
Thank
Anytime.
you.
What do you think of our little nice little setup here? Pretty nice, huh?
Pretty nice out here.
Not bad.
Hell yeah.
When you get done, I'll put you guys on the go-kart track.
All right.
Let you fling and sling with it.
That'll work.
Alan Taylor join us. Taylor is going to join us next. We'll talk racing with the little lovely. On Pit Road Racing continues right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at C-Max Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals, April 25th through 27th.
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless. Here, a lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
That's my buddy Jerry B right there, Jerry Bernardo. If you guys all remember ESPN2 and Moto World, he was the host of that show, man. He was a nut. He was really into motocross and supercross and stuff. They covered a little bit of NASCAR, and I think he said he got to 1 or 2 NHRA events. But I mean, he was nuts to where he would go out and lay down with a camera on him and a microphone over a jump and have Ricky Carmichael and these guys zinging across the top of him like, you know what I always said to you, and Ricky Rackman followed him. If you ever, Jerry B was first. Then Ricky Rackman came after the MTV thing and the Headbangers Ball and all that, Ricky did the same thing, but he'd lay down and let people jump over him and do things like that. Well, your dad was here earlier. Taylor's here now. Taylor, how did this come? Taylor.
Well, I was already born.
Okay.
And my mom had a name picked out. My dad didn't want that name, totally refused. So my grandma made a joke and she was like, oh, you should name her Taylor, so she'll always carry the Taylor name. And my dad took that joke seriously. So my mom woke up. She had a daughter named Taylor, and so here I am.
Here you are.
Here I am.
How'd you get started in racing?
My dad. I was, I think, 3 years old when I got on my first four-wheeler in the sand drags with him. The little Yeller, we still have it. It's still in our family. So I did that for a while with my dad and my mom. And then when I was 8, my dad bought me my first Junior, and it's just been there ever since.
Now you have a brother too, right?
Yeah, I have a 16-year-old brother, Jake.
Okay, and he races too?
Yep.
You whoop his butt?
Oh, yeah. No, we've never actually raced each
Oh,
other.
no, you've never raced each other.
No. So one time my dad actually tried to get us to race in a little fun run, and I refused because I knew if I would have lost to him, I would have never heard the end of it. So we've never raced each other, and I plan on keeping it that way as long as I can.
Well, what would happen if you guys run the same division?
Yeah.
So what happens if you end up in the finals?
Well, I mean, in the final, it's kind of different. At that point, you don't really care who wins. Like, yeah, you want the win, but it's also your brother, so it's kind of like it comes home anyways.
Dad's shaking his head like me. No.
Well, no, because he's very competitive. He would not let it slide. He would need to get the win.
And if not, then he'd be busting your chops for.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Now, vice versa, would you do the same thing? Would it be for you just like a week? You're going to egg him on a little bit when you got lucky
Oh yeah.
this week and this, that.
Absolutely. For sure. For sure.
Where you want to go in your racing career? Are you happy with where you're at, or you want to move on? Would you like to be the next Erica Enders?
Yeah. I mean,
Leah Pruitt? Leah Pruitt?
I love her racing. I love, doing it with my family, my dad especially, and my mom. But I would love to move up in any shape or form, even just to run top dragster, top sportsman. I've always wanted to run top sportsman. I think it's a fun class, and I'm kind of just like my dad. I almost love having the motor right in front of me, and I feel like it's a little bit more of a wild ride. Um, Obviously, those classes are a lot more expensive to run, but I would definitely even think about a pro stock. That would
Pro
be
stock?
a good time. Yeah.
It's like your dad shift. It's basically the only shifting car when you get up there because the nitro stuff is just one gear, pop it and lay the hammer down and hold on. I mean, let's face it, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So you guys, we're going to there. Have you thought about anything else? Have you thought about driving anything else?
I mean, not really. I love my car. It's very sentimental to me, so I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. If I could, I would totally go with a different class, maybe like super comp. It's very competitive there. I do want to move up eventually to super gas. I just need to get a bigger motor. My mile an hour is a little bit too slow
All right.
competing against those guys. But it's definitely crossed my mind. It'll take some time to get up, but I'll make my way up there.
What do you think about now? I mean, NASCAR went through a little bit of a spurt, not much, but the NHRA has really gone for females getting into drag racing. And I mean, it has really, really grown. I mean, you go back to the Shirley Muldowney days when it all sort of began, and she was pretty much the lone sheep out there at the time, And I did notice this too. And Diane, my wife, made this point. She said, it seems like that the NHRA guys have a little more respect for the females that are driving than it really sort of towards the NASCAR and even IndyCar, to where NASCAR was always known as the good old boy sport. That was it. You had to come from down south. You had to either be from Southern Virginia, Southern Virginia, North Carolina, a little bit of Alabama due to the Alabama gang with the Allisons and all that. But they was the good old boys, and they really just didn't appreciate a woman coming into the good old boys, to where I've noticed this now that the NHRA guys, and if you look at Ron Capps, we were all at the press conference and we were talking about this with Maddie Gordon coming on board, and you said you got to race against her a few times. This seems like this has become a norm, that the females now are really stepping up in this sport and really making a name for themselves. I mean, like I said, beyond the Shirley Muldowney's, then you move into the progression of it to how Erica Enders has been, Leah has been, Alexis DeJoria has been in this thing now, and you girls are starting to dominate now. What do you think about all the females coming into this sport?
I love it. Obviously, being a girl in a man's sport is hard. It can be challenging, growing up. I appreciated that. I honestly felt I had a lot more girls that I raced with than guys. Especially here in Vegas. When I started racing juniors, I was surrounded by girls. I swear there was like 3 boys maybe that raced with us. And then, honestly, one thing that I appreciate, and I think that the NHRA guys, like you said, appreciate, is like all the girls that are out there racing with NHRA, they're working for it.
Right.
Most of these girls, especially like Maddie Gordon, for example, she is one of the most down to earth people. The whole family is, and her and her sister Macy, they'll be out there turning the wrenches, doing whatever they need to do to get their cars going, and they put in the work, and they're not just throwing money around and getting into a seat because they've got money. They're genuinely good people and hard workers, and I think that that's where it's different for NHRA and NASCAR. Is NHRA, it seems to me like the girls are working for it.
Right.
They're earning their spot, and not saying that it's like that in NASCAR at all, but I've had a personal experience with NHRA where those girls that are out there racing, they're not there just for fun. Like we're there, we're serious, we're here to race and be competitive with the guys, and we're here to show the guys that we belong here too.
Well, they come from a 3rd generation family. I mean, her grandfather, her father, and everything else, 3rd generation. I really like the comments in the press conference. We played it on the show, and she goes, none of my people, none of my girls on my team have long fingernails. We don't wear makeup very, very often. I have 1 pair of dress shoes, and that's for a formal event. Besides that is my racing shoes and tennis shoes and maybe a pair of Crocs or flip-flops. And we're in the garage every night busting our thing. And what I thought she said she was really the clutch girl on the car. She really that and worked with suspension. And her 19-year-old sister, 19 years old, was building the motors for these cars. And we've got it. In fact, we could have had a shot to had Natty on, but I told Diane, I said no. And I talked to Josh Hatchett, who's the media director for the NHRA, and I said, no, I want them both at the same time.
Yeah.
Because to have her talk about the driving experience, working on the cars, as a clutch, as assembling the clutches and working with the clutches, and then her sister, who is 3 or 4 years younger than she is, building the motors for these cars. That's a story in alone. And I'm going to tell you, you work on your car?
Yes.
I'm telling you, moms and dads, you want your son, your daughter to appreciate what racing's all about. You can go, I don't care how much money you have. You can have a shoestring budget, or you can have millions of dollars in the bank. But teach your kids how to work on these cars. Teach them how to, if nothing else, changing oil, tires, spark plugs. You don't have to be somebody who's like Maddie's sister that, 18, 19 years old and goes out and knows how to build motors. Okay. Not unless you've went to school or I think she got all the hands-on experience that she could get with that family.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one thing, like even when we were kids racing together, one thing that their family did is they made sure those girls were involved. And I appreciate that. I think that for getting more girls involved into building side, you see these teams full of guys that are working on the cars. I think it's cool to see girls, especially young girls, working on these cars and knowing what they're talking about and becoming the future of NHRA in a total.
It is. I just think this is. I think that all motorsports need to lead to this. And if you don't have the grassroots racing, which you guys are grassroots racers, you're not on the big Fox network every Sunday or NBC or whoever the heck's covering them now that's showing, the top 3 divisions or the top 4 divisions, to get local and grassroots racing on, but to get out there, work on the car, to know how the car's assembled, how it works. And then once the run is done, what you can go back and talk to your dad or talk to your crew chief and say, the car pulled to the left, it pulled to the right. Well, we need to adjust this or we need to adjust that. Is your whole family involved like hers? Her grandma's cooks all the food. Mom handles all the swag. Is your family is it all involved with that too?
Yeah. So I definitely, if any of us are racing, my dad, me, my brother, my fiance, we're always out there, all of us together. My mom's, usually the cook. She also helps with our numbers, running the numbers. And then we all kind of pitch in where we can. My uncle races as well. So both of my grandparents are out there too, supporting us, hanging out, doing whatever they can to help. So it is kind of like a family dynamic duo as well. Obviously not as intense as the Gordons because we're not in that type of level as they are. They need a lot more hands-on. Our bracket racing, it's pretty simple. You can almost do it on your own. But we're a tight family, so we do have a lot of support within our family.
And and where's the dream for you? Where will Taylor? I always ask this: where is Taylor see herself in 3 years, and where is Taylor see herself in 5?
In 3 years, I'd like to at least have a championship in Super Street and probably at least racing in Super Gas in 3 years from now. And then in 5 years, I don't know. I'd like to say I'd love to race Top Sportsman in 5 years.
Right.
Now, is that realistic? Probably not, but that's where I would want to be one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then eventually the goal, you had a shot at a pro stock ride
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Definitely. If a pro stock ride came across, I definitely wouldn't turn it down.
Now, are you a fan of any other motorsports?
I mean, not really. A little bit of dirt bikes, but I kind of just focus on NHRA.
That's it. So that's it. So let me ask you this: if Richard Childress called you on the phone and said, "I've got an Xfinity ride for you," would you for just even if it was a one and done, would you take that opportunity?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like part of drag racing is loving to go fast. So any chance I could get, I think if you're a drag racer, you're an adrenaline junkie.
Right.
So I think any chance I'd get, any offer, I'd take it.
You would?
Yeah, for sure.
Same way with the World of Outlaw. If they said if Casey Kane called you up and said, "I got a ride in a sprint car," you'd go?
Oh, absolutely. we have actually talked about if drag racing ever dies, we were gonna go sprint car racing.
That's Gene's favorite. That's Gene's
Yeah.
favorite. Gene says it's, and I got two things on my bucket list. I gotta go to Tulsa. I
Yeah.
gotta go to Tulsa to the winter, to the Nationals, to the Chili Bowl. Got to see the Chili Bowl, and I definitely want to get over to Knoxville, to Iowa, to where the King track for the sprint cars are at, because I've seen it on television. And Gene was there a couple of years ago, and he said, Mike, he says, you appreciate a good racing facility. He said, this thing is top notch all the way. It is set perfect. I mean, not a glitch in this place. So those are the two places. I want to see the Chili Bowl, and I wanted to see the Chili Bowl, and I definitely want to get over to Knoxville to see the World of Outlaws there.
Yeah.
What do you think about Kyle Larson doing what he's doing?
I think it's pretty awesome.
You know, he smacked the wall yesterday.
Hey, you know what? You gotta break stuff to learn.
Do you break a lot of stuff?
Knock on wood. No, I don't.
You tap right here.
Yeah, right.
You can tap right there. That's
Right
made out of
there.
wood. Yeah. It's got a plastic
Yeah.
top, but it's made of wood.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, luckily, so with the type of racing that we do, it's pretty low maintenance. You know, you change your oil every few races, your spark plugs, whatever. But for the most part, we're pretty low maintenance. We have a great car. Our motor was built by Bill Weber, Sherway Auto. Yeah, Sherway Auto. They're down in Kingman, Arizona. And it just runs great. It's amazing. I don't have any complaints about that car. So we've gotten pretty lucky so far with not having any issues with it. No major issues anyways. You know, little things here and there. They'll come loose, they'll break, whatever. But yeah, luckily no major issues in the past 4 years that we've had this motor in. So
Really?
yeah. Mhm.
So it's held up pretty good then.
Oh yeah, it's a great car.
It's a beast of a motor. That's what we used to call them, a beast of a motor, man. If it ain't breaking down or blowing up, it's a beast all the way.
That's right. Yeah.
Favorite track you've been on?
Ooh. I love the hole in the wall track. So I would have to probably say Sacramento.
Okay.
Sacramento Raceway closed a couple years ago. Everybody hated it. Everybody hated the drive. Everybody hated how bumpy it was. For some odd reason, it was like my favorite track. I always did good there. I never, I don't think I ever lost a round or first round there. It was a great track in my opinion. So one of my most memorable races was there. So I'll never forget that track.
They made that, they screwed up there, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
They shut all the racing down there. The dirt track's gone. The Sacramento Mile's gone. No more flat track racing. No more drag racing. No more car racing. And here's the gig. You know what they're going to find out at the end of this year? Whoever handles the books for Sacramento, the accounting firm up there, they're going to open up the books and they're going to go, man, we're about $500,000 short of where our budget was. That's your $500,000 right there, because you cut out racing. Because there's one thing. Racing people support racing products, okay? You look at Dale Jr., you look at any of these guys, or you look at any Antron. Antron sells a lot of Snap-on tools, man.
Yeah.
He sells a lot of tools. Dale Jr. sold a lot of Nationwide Insurance and a crap load of Mountain Dew.
Mhm.
You know? So they're going to figure out that what they did up there was totally wrong to take that thing out of there. Not just for the horse racing, but for all the racing, the motorcycles, the drag racing, the car, everything.
Yeah.
And when you pinch that, that's just like going back. If you heard me earlier, I don't know if you guys were here. I'm all about this bit. I'm sick and tired of all these other tracks and road courses and everything else. And it showed last weekend at Rockingham that they packed the stands down there. And what people have to understand about local racing, folks, what it's good is good for the economy. It's good for these people. If you have a pizza joint and if you have whatever business, a donut or a cake shop, and it's on its way to the track and people are stopping there to buy sodas or beers or whatever it might be, that supports the local community. I mean, the same way with Wilkesboro, what they added another 4,000 seats to Wilkesboro. I guarantee you, when you see this all-star race and everything, it's going to be packed. They did so well last year, Alan, at the end of the event, they didn't have one single can of soda, not one single can of beer, and there wasn't a hot dog to be found on the joint. See what I mean? Some of them don't get it. Taylor. If you could race on any track that you wanted to race on, where would it be?
Bristol.
Ooh, Thunder Valley.
I've said that since I knew what Bristol was. I begged my dad to take me when I was in a junior, and could just never make it work. It's a far drive. And unfortunately we have to work sometimes. But I want to get myself out there one day. They have a big spring fling event that I want to go to. But Yeah, that's my dream track for sure. I at least want to get down at one time.
Just one shot. If it's just one and
Even,
done, you're.
even if it's just one and done, it doesn't even have to be in my car. I just wanna go down the racetrack one time.
You know what I want to try? And Ron Cat says he's going to have it back here when he comes back in the fall. He's going to have the 2-seater funny car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to take a ride with him, man. I definitely. No, I've done the NASCAR stuff. I've done all that. I was actually one of the first media guys. Well, let's just say I was one of the first dozen media guys that actually did not the ride along, the drive at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but that's where it started at. And they didn't have no lights in Charlotte back then, so the driving experience was done during the daytime. And when they talked about turn 3 was a slick, tight turn, buddy, I'm going to tell you something. When you hit that thing at about 145 mile an hour and that rear end starts to slide a little bit, buddy, everything down below sucks up. If you know what I mean, you're holding on to dear life for this thing. So I would really like to try this. I would really like to. He says they're going to bring it back in the fall, and he said if he does, Alan, you got a ride, man. So I know it's not going to go the 335 mile an hour. He's going to get me up. He said about 265, 270 in it.
Wow.
So the nitro is just really starting to kick. Then you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm all for it. Strap me into it. I'll give it a ride. Give me a ride in a darn thing. Where can they find you social media wise and websites and sponsors out there if they want to get a hold of you?
You can find me on Facebook, Taylor Taylor, Instagram. It's also Taylor Taylor, but with 2 Y's each of the Taylors. I don't have any professional websites set up yet, but if that's something I need to get done, I'll get moving on that. So I'd love to hear from anybody that's willing to sponsor us. We definitely could use it. We've got a lot of dreams and a lot of high hopes here. So
Yeah.
if you're wanting to support a local family,
What do you think about what do you think about this Jasmine Salinas and this whole deal coming down?
oh man, I mean, it's insane. How are you 5th in points and nobody wants to help you out? I get it, it is a lot of money to run a nitro car every race. It's like I said, it's probably near half a million dollars a race, and those those big companies are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So
Right.
it's kind of sad. We're watching all of these sponsors drop out all the time. Like growing up, I remember NHRA was so full of all these name brand companies that were everywhere, and now it's kind of like some of these companies I'm like, what? Like where are we coming? Where is this coming from?
I think the only people that you keep a name brand so far that I've seen is IndyCar.
Yeah.
I think even if you watch some of the F1 stuff, besides Ferrari and a couple of the big, Ray-Ban, a couple of those guys that are with those teams that have been with them for a while. But I mean, if you look at I remember seeing back in the day, Bernstein was sponsored by Budweiser years and years and years and years. And now to get Budweiser to join you for 6 races, that's a lot. I mean, same way with NASCAR, I mean,
Yeah, well, honestly, NHRA has tightened down on their rules for who can and can't sponsor you as well. So I think that's also kind of going into a lot of these people's issues finding sponsorships is they're strict on those now.
wow, no more beer sponsors. I know, no more beer sponsors in the NHRA.
There's a lot of rules that's come out in the past couple of years.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's a chunk of money right there.
Right,
That's
and
a big chunk of money.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of our drag races are full of beer. Everybody's coming out there drinking a nice cold Bud Light or nice cold Coors Light or whatever they like. So it's like to take those types of sponsorships away. I mean, that's almost losing money on purpose.
Oh God, wait till next week and I get Renton. You see, this is what I'm talking about. They get NASCAR did this. NASCAR did the same thing. I won't go into the team or who it was, but there was a team out there that had a sponsorship. It was from a gentleman's club.
Yeah.
This sponsorship had no graphic top or bottom, if you all, because I have a young lady here, so I'm going to try to be politically correct and nice. But there was no top sections or bottom sections of a girl. Right. There was no bareness of it. It was nothing more than a set of crossed legs with fishnet hose on it.
Yeah.
And NASCAR said no. After the designs were turned in and initially approved. But then again, NASCAR at that point, we were at the end of the Winston. I knew T. Wayne. That from Winston. I knew it. Flew on a private jet with him back from Sonoma one time. Got off the plane and I had more Winston-Salem cigarettes and Goodies headache powders and I knew what to do with. But here and there, Winston cigarettes. Then you went into all the alcohol companies, beer companies, the wine. Remember the wine coolers? All of them in there jumping on board of it. So eventually this driver and this person and the main sponsor took their sponsorship from NASCAR, and I won't tell you what hand and what finger went up and went monster truck racing.
Yeah.
Lucas Oil, off series.
Yep.
I think if you guys walked in, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Probably saw the truck sitting out there, huh?
Yeah.
So that's the point of it is that they've got to loosen. And I'm glad to see NASCAR loosen up, and maybe NHRA, because there's another big company, 3Chai, who is a cannabis company that is not the cannabis with THC in it. It's cannabis with CBD products that help with pain.
Yeah.
To keep people. I use it myself.
Yeah.
I use it. I've been people that know. And we believe after May 1st we'll be in our 1-year remission from bladder cancer.
Oh, congratulations.
So I keep it.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, knock on that wood.
Knock on the wood up underneath. There's wood up underneath this table.
Okay.
But if it wasn't for those products and the pain that I go through nightly, my feet, my legs, my back with it, my bladder, the pain, if it wasn't for them, I don't know what I would do. Because opioids are destroying this country. They're destroying everybody, our young people, everybody. So, I mean, out there, use it. Try 3Chai. Go to a local that you don't. I'm not talking about smoking weed. I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about using a CBD product for pain that will work, that does work. Trust me, I use it every night. And it will help you keep you off, because the opioids and everything are killing these kids around here.
Oh yeah, they definitely are.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I appreciate you having me and my dad on, and I'm glad that we got to come and enjoy this experience with you.
Have fun with us?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There you go. You guys want to run? Well, how much time I got here? Oh, maybe we've been running along. You guys want to hang tight? I'm going to run over some quick news, and we'll go out and ride some go-karts, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Hang on. I'm going to do a quick break. We'll come right on back. I want to thank Alan and Taylor Taylors, the Taylor family. Drag racing here on Pit Road Racing. The final segment coming up right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Ever wonder what happens when nitro meets fire? It's lightning in a bottle. It's where thunder rolls in your chest and ambition meets asphalt. Where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. It's an experience like no other. See for yourself April 25th through 27th at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at C-Max Dragway, where drivers go head-to-head in 4-wide competition and where every ticket is a pit pass. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals.
Final segment here for you at On Pit Road Racing, live from the WCOBM studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. Scratch with a K out. That Diane's back. Got a little bit of a sore throat, but she'll join us back next week. Real quickly, some updates before we get out of here for you today. IndyCar is now set up. They've got a whole diversion here. Go to IndyCar.com, man. It's all talking about relief drivers. And, of course, this whole thing with Kyle Larson, he's going to attempt it now. Making an attempt to run the 500, jump on a helicopter or private jet down to Charlotte to run the Coca-Cola 600. So now they're talking about if drivers can't make it, how the relief schedule of it is. I wanted to get into a little bit of it, but time running short. So anyhow, just check it out. Also, the Gronk, the Gronk is going to be the Grand Marshal of the Snake Pit over there. Ron Gronkowski, former Tampa Bay and, of course, New England Patriots wide receiver, tight end, played with the GOAT Tom Brady. Can't wait for it. It's going to be the it's going to be the Coors Light Snake Pig, and he's going to be the host. Current standings after Long Beach, Alex Blow up on top. Kyle Kirkwood moves into second. Christian Lundgaard up into third. F1 is back in action coming up. It's going to be the Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. Lando Norris stands up on the top of the points with Oscar P. and Max V rounding up the podium. You'll get practice coming up on the third at 9:30 to 10:30. Qualifying's on the fourth. Qualifying is on the third too, from let me see, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then race day on Sunday at 1 p.m. Check out ESPN for all the coverage. Segment brought to you by our good friends at Atlanta Motor Sports Park. Real quickly, some motocross racing news up for you. Round number 12, all said and done out of Philly. Cooper Webb. Let me see. Chase Sexton, 450 class. Chase Sexton on his KTM. Then it was Cooper Webb, Credit Roslin, who got the whole shot, and Justin Cooper on the 250 class. Point standings right now, it's Webb up on top with Chase Sexton up in second. Ken Roslin sent in the third position on that. And if we go up into, let me see, I believe we're going to look at the 250 class. Cole Davis was your winner in Philly. RJ Hampshire, Seth Haymaker, and Joe Shimomoto. Right now, point standings in the East Division. Hampshire's up on first with Haymaker and Tom Vanelli. Coming up on the Super Twins in the Progressive American Flat Track Series, the Super Twins heading into action in Ventura, California this weekend. Dallas Daniels on top right there in the point standings. The ATF singles has got Cody Cobb. Speedway racing coming up for you. AMA round number 1's coming up June 21st in Bakersfield. AMA Speedway racing coming up round number 2 at Industry Hills August 9th. Fast Friday on September 19th. And the finale down at Kern County. That's Kevin Harvick's place down there. Man, did he build, Alan, he built one hell of a damn good facility down. Really did. I mean, he's running dirt track, speedways, flat track, NASCAR, late supermodels. He's running it all. I love it. I like this. This is good stuff. Real quickly, sprint car action for you. Point standings, they're heading into we were talking about Knoxville. Got rained out on the Saturday night event, but the point standings looking in and after it's David Gravel up on top. Logan Schuchart, 68 back. Carson McAdoo, 100 back. And Michael Coldfield, 140 back. That's a look at it this weekend. It's Talladega. You can actually catch them on the Real Network this weekend, folks. Fox will have the coverage. Don't get me started, Alan. Did you hear me before? All 3 series to CW. All 3. And be done with this. So, the thing about it, if it's CW is going to make it, the sponsors are going to be happy. Look at the sponsors, though. Your daughter just said it not 3 minutes ago. The lack of sponsorships are pulling out of this. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't afford 9 different streaming services to catch, 28 of the 36 races. Get a TV deal. Commissioner. NASCAR has a commissioner now. Earn your money. Get a good TV deal. Let all the makers in. Get rid of all these road courses and get back to racing. Did Rockingham show you something, NASCAR? Is Wilkesboro going to show you something? People don't care about racing down in Mexico. You want to talk about taking NASCAR European. No, you're not going to go over there and compete with F1. It's not going to happen. F1 people do not like NASCAR. Most of the drivers don't even like coming here. They don't. They like Miami because it's warm there and they can be on the beach and all that. Stop trying to be something you're not. You're not open wheel racing. You're not street course racing. You're not road course racing. You're stock car racing. Just like NHRA. NHRA does not take their racetrack and put it in the middle of a baseball field. NHRA does not shut the street down wherever USA and stick 2 or 4 lanes up in a tree. Sorry. This is how I feel. I'm old school. And I think racetracks should be racetracks. and football stadiums and baseball parks should be big. You hear that? They were talking about wanting to run NASCAR at Dodger Stadium. There ain't no way the Dodgers are going to allow them to put that NASCAR in there after they just spent, what, $200 million on revamping that baseball park? Give me a break. Give me a break. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Irwindale, I get the point of Irwindale because the people that own that land and had that down there, that number just kept going too much and too much. And I go back to old school where you used to take somebody out to dinner and you wanted something, you'd slide a napkin across with a figure on it. Well, that final number was just too much. NASCAR's not going to do it. NASCAR's not going to do anything with Fontana. They're not going to do anything. No, it's not going to happen. California market is not good for NASCAR. Rockingham, good market. Wilkesboro, good market. Milwaukee Mile, good market. Huh? Somebody asked me the other day, go IndyCar back here? And I said, no, IndyCar will never come back to Las Vegas, not after the Dan Weldon thing. No. But the only one on 3 tracks now? 3 ovals. Texas, Iowa, Indianapolis, the only 3 tracks ovals. But that's what IndyCar wants to do. And that's fine. Like I said, you don't see the NHRA taking their thing and put it in the middle of a football field. It's, Now, I like the Clash went back to Bowman Gray. If you've never been to Bowman Gray, if you all ever get to North Carolina, go to Winston-Salem. Saturday night. The Madhouse. They call it the Madhouse. 7,000 to 10,000 pack the stands every Saturday night. If you go there and you go through the gate and you're not like one of the first 1,000 people to get to the beer trucks, guaranteed you're going to wait, bro. You're going to wait a while. They say that sometimes there's more action in the pits than on the track. Oh, yeah, if you're a team down there, you better be ready. You better be willing to fight. Last weekend, they had to call the cops. Got so crazy on the track. You ever had that? You ever have any of you two have anything crazy where a driver came up to you and wanted to whoop your butts? No? Oh, feisty one, isn't she? There you go. I want to thank Alan and Taylor. Alan Taylor and Taylor. That's just so wild. You woke up in one morning and you got your way on that one, huh? How many points did that cost you? A lot of points. You're still here about it today? What's your son's name? Jake Taylor. Well, thank God they didn't name him Taylor Sr. guy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's boy, after this show, your wife's going to say, boy, you owe me a lot of points now. Alan brought it all out today. Want to thank the Taylors for dropping by. If you get out to see them, they're going to be racing around. I guess you're heading up, but you're back in Vegas here in late October, right? You're here for the Halloween weekend and for all that, Lucas Oil and all that stuff in the end. Get out there and see them. Stop by their pits. I just noticed you have an engagement ring on. Are you engaged? Does a boyfriend or fiance work on the car? You don't take no slack from him? What's his name? Landon? Landon, you watching the show? You help this lady out, okay? Help her out. Or I'll have her bring you down on the show. I like having fun. Treat her good, Landon. She's a good-looking little lady right there, and she's racing a car. She's got, wait a second. I'm trying to, yeah, you got fingernails. Lift your nails up. Oh, yeah, there's dirt up underneath them. I'm just kidding with you. You better remember what Natty said. Natty made they chopped all their nails off. They come off? Oh, okay. I was going to say. Because I just couldn't imagine you girls. I noticed that Erica Enders, first time I met her, she didn't have any fingernails either. Because I figured you guys are scrunching. Boy, you talk about jabbing yourselves. Yeah. All righty. We're going to keep tabs with you guys and see how you guys are doing. Appreciate you spending your time with us. You guys ready to run a couple go-karts? All right, let's go do it. I'm going to call for John, man. Scratch will be back with us, Diane, next week. So you guys all hang tight with us and have a good time. Want to thank the Taylors for stopping by, Alan and Taylor. Check them out. Got all their website information. Talladega this weekend for the Scott Cars. 4 Wide Racing in Charlotte. World of Outlaws are going to be in Illinois. F1 and Indy cars on. We'll catch everybody next Thursday. Don, take us home.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBN TV. I'm John the Announcer for On Pit Road Racing.